Hi there. In this session, I would like to tell you about JavaScript functions. What are functions in JavaScript? A set of statements that performs a task or calculative value is called as a function here in this JavaScript. A set of statements. What does mean by set of statements? You can define variable values. You can use variables in functional function, as well as you can use conditional statement here in these functions also. Those are all called statements, a set of statements that performs a task. It means conditional statements makes a task. If you use the if else statement, that it performs a task, or calculative values. In the sense, you can also define operators, arithmetic operators, conditional operators, and assignment operators to these to bring some calculation values with the help of conditional statement. You can use this conditional statement here in this functional, here in this JavaScript function. So that's where here we can see a set of statements that performs a task or calculative value. For that purpose, we can use some function. Have a look how it seems to be. So now we can see the syntax of this function. For that, I will take new document and I will define function class dot HTML. This is our document. As well as I would like to define that function here in this internal command only. I don't want to load or link external files. So what I will do is I will bring some HTML starter template. Now we can see this is only the starter template, and I would like to define that function above the closing tag only with the help of a scripting tag. If you want to define any kind of JavaScript, then you have to use the scripting tag. You have to assign that value in between the scripting tag only. So what I will do is, here you can see I will use function and define that name as something message. It message seems to be having open close curly braces. Why we should use that curly braces? So open close brackets. Why we should use that open close brackets? Because we have to assign some properties. So it is called as a props. And here you can see we have to open close some curly braces. In between these curly braces only we have to define and we have to print some document with the help of document dot write method. So here what I will do is I will use this is JavaScript. Now you can see we defined you we want to assign some script means text here in this function. So we use the document dot write method, and there I inserted double quotates is there. In between that double quotates only defined some content. So save this one. What I will do is I will open this one in live server. Now we can see it seems to be like this. Now we can see this is our output. Okay, so here we couldn't find any kind of output. Here we couldn't find any kind of output, but make sure that we couldn't exported this value, so it couldn't render any output. What I will do is I will print this one as msg. Now we can see we exported this JavaScript function value by assigning like this. This is the syntax. Now I save this document, and here you can see it seems to be like this. This is JavaScript. So how many times I can do like this? In n number of times I can reuse and execute those values. You can see I will copy and paste, copy and paste. Now we can see there is this is JavaScript, this is JavaScript is there. Even we can assign some events to this function also. So events are having mouse event is there. Here we can see here in this JavaScript there is some events also be there, known as events in the sense mouse event is there, as well as keyboard events is there, as well as it had some form event also be there. Okay, so when you want to assign some events to particular performance, it means for particular calculations or particular statements, then you have to use events. Alert is also one of the method. We can use that alert method to button also. We can assign some event for this alert method also. To execute the event, we should entertain this functional function here in this JavaScript. Now here you can see this is the syntax to execute our function. So here you can see what I will do is instead of document.write, I want to assign another alert method. So what I will do is I will select this document.write. I will comment it out by hitting control backslash. Now here in this VS code we can see this is the short code. So I will assign alert method. There in that alert we have to use open close brackets only. In between double quotes I would like to assign this is JavaScript. Now here we can see save this one. So here you can see there is alert button is there. There is an alert button. JavaScript is there. So if I hit refresh, here we can see another alert button is there. Whenever you may hit the refresh button, then you can get this output, because here in this functional method, functional function, we used only alert. So we are getting some alert. It is one of the boom method, in the sense browser object model method is there. Alert is the one of the browser object model method, and document.write is also one of the document related method. So we assigned these values in between this function only. So it is executing like this kind of command. Even I want to assign some alert to my button. So here you can say I need one button here in this body area. If I hit any this button, I want to see alert box. So how I can see that one? So here you can see what I will do is I will take one button button. I will assign some button. I will assign some text to that button as alert me. So save this one. Now what I will do is I will comment out this one also at present. I don't need this one. Save this one and come over here. You can see alert me button is there. So when I hit this button, I want to show that alert box. Okay, if I hitting this button, we couldn't able to find any kind of alert method. So what we have to do is we have to define events to this button. Here I told you about events. There is a mouse event, keyboard event, form event is there. Now we have to define some mouse events to this button. So how we can define that mouse event? So here you can see on click is on click, click is one of the event for button. So I used that JavaScript on click event. So which alert do you want to show? So what I will do is I will use MSG method. So here you can see function I use, and to this on click event I would like to remove this MSG. Just save this one. Now we can see we couldn't find any kind of alert. If I hit alert me, now we can see we can able to find out this one on click is equal to MSG. So now save this one. I will hit alert me. So here we can see what we have to do is I assign the button on click is equal to MSG. So that is the function name which we assigned to that function. So I will save this one. Now what I will do is I will hit like this, but we couldn't see the output because there is no document, there is no method has been activated in between this function. So what I will do is I will enable this alert method. So now save this one. Even I assigned this message, I am rendering this that function message with the event on click event. So come over here, refresh once and hit alert. This is JavaScript. So when I hit that button, we can see alert method has been activated with the help of a function. So what I want to do is, I don't want to see this alert. So I want to disable this one, and I want to say I want to render this document dot write here in this function method. So then what I will do is, I will comment out this one by hitting control backslash. Then you can see I will activate this document dot write by hitting control backslash. Save this one. Now we can see, just hit on this refresh, just hit alert me. Now you can see there is a javascript text is there. After hitting that button, it has been loaded, but our button couldn't able to see because we use document dot write. While I am hitting this button, it couldn't loads this button, but it will show some content over here. If I hit refresh, now we can see there is a button also be there, and after hitting the button we can see this is the javascript, and refresh this one. I will disable this document dot write also, comment it out and save this one. Here we can see what I will do is, I will disable these comments. Now we can see the alert button. So this is a function giving some events also. There is a different kinds of events is there. Events are having this kind of events. We can assign any kind of event to this function. So function always carries this set of statements that performs a task. Now it performed some task like document dot write and alert, and it will calculate also. Means we can use conditional statement here in this JavaScript function also. In upcoming class, we will discuss about that topic also. This is the source code about function.